Hi everyone, it's Loz here and it's Friday, almost afternoon. Really wrapped to have Ange D on with me this afternoon. How you going, Ange?
Oh, well, thanks, Loz. Nice to be here. Thank you.
That's cool. We're on the downhill run to it off the back of a big week. We're both comparing stories about what's happening for the weekend, and it involves work.
And more work.
And more work, but it is nice. It's nice to be busy at the moment and be able to help a load of people. I'm going to just share with you some background about Ange before she jumps into her presentation. So she is known as the Jack of all trades and master of none. I would dispute that. I think she spent 15 years working with tradesmen in construction and is passionate about helping them stay safe and compliant. And you'll hear a little bit about her talk in a minute around in the safety space. I have two fun facts about you, Ange. One is that you have sung Celine Dion's Because You Loved Me for a wedding on top of a live volcano in Vanuatu. That sounds a bit intense. And the other is that you have a white python. You have had a white python placed around your body in Thailand. Ooh, snakes freak me out. So I'm hoping it's the volcano.
Yes.
It is.
Right.
Wow, there must be a story behind that. That sounds amazing.
I was massaging my career, ideally a retired massage therapist. So that's the master career that I have. Wow. Mastered that for 19 years. And as part of being massaging this bride and groom that were getting married, they said you had to attend to get their wedding on top of a volcano in Tana Island in Vanuatu.
Tough gig.
I said, sure, I'm coming. They said, but you need to massage the bridal party before we get married. I said, that's fine, I can do that. And you must sing for us on the volcano. So I was like, okay, that sounds good to me. I'm coming. So wow. Yeah, yes, and definitely not a snake lover. I see a snake and I'm running the opposite direction. I don't normally run, but if you want to make me run, you bring a snake anywhere near me and I reckon I'll win the marathon.
I hear you. My daughter is obsessed with snakes. She's now 24, but she always wanted to have a pet snake and I was always like, no, we're not having a pet snake. In my past life, I was a massage therapist and beauty therapist too, so we have something in common.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm going to let you share your screen and jump into your presentation. I'll come back at the end and we'll see if there's been any questions.
Okay. Great. Okay, well, here today to talk about keeping safety seriously simple. It's something that people don't normally like to hear about, and usually they'll discover safety when it's way too late, when work cover's on their front doorstep or when something's happened or there's an accident in their business. So the idea of this presentation is to keep it seriously simple and give you the fundamentals of what you must have in place as a business operator. So just sharing with you the current laws in today's New South Wales and across most of the states except for Victoria and Western Australia, the Work Health and Safety Act of 2011 and the regulation of 2017. Now, those laws are ideally put in place to promote the health and safety and welfare of people at work. They're to protect people against any hazards and risks at work, to promote a health and safety environment, to provide for consultation between businesses and their workers, so management doesn't sit in their office pretending that they don't know or don't want to know what's going on. They're to identify, assess and eliminate any control any hazards that are found in the business operations, to promote the community awareness of health and safety issues, and then to improve any health and safety standards over time. Now, ideally, the frameworks have been put into place to protect people against any risks from equipment in public places. So you might find when you're out in shopping centres, usually they put barricades left, right and centre. The idea is to avoid people getting injured whilst they're moving around in the traffic. So that's part of the legislation and what it stands for. The idea is to put it into place and have it into your business. So the law says that we have a primary duty of care. Now, primary duty of care is to act in a way that does not put others at risk of potential harm. So in other words, in simple English, if it's going to hurt you or kill you, then don't do it. If it's going to hurt or kill somebody else, once again, don't do it. Now, the law says, legislation states that if you're a PCBU, a person conducting a business or undertaking, you must have safety systems in place. Now, what's a PCBU? Basically, anybody's got a company logo, open your front door, trading as of operations, starting your own business, you're classified as a PCBU. Now, it could be a not-for-profit organization, it could be a partnership, it could be a body corporate, or a simple business. So whether you're one-man band or running a business with employees or subcontractors, you are definitely a PCBU and you must have systems in place. Definition of workers or anybody working in your banner: employees directly employed by you, subcontractors, labor hire, work experience students coming on board for experience, volunteers or apprentices. Doesn't matter who they are, if they're working underneath your logo, you have a duty of care to make sure that they don't get hurt whilst they're working for you in the business. Hope that definition is clear enough, and I'm happy to send this presentation to anybody who requests it. Now, there's 5 basic principles to risk management, and the law says you must have these in place. Number 1, hazard identification. Must look around sites or wherever in the business is to make sure that you've checked for any hazards. Complete a risk assessment. Identify what is needed, and then make sure you discuss with somebody else in the team how you're going to stop these risks or control these risks from hurting your staff. Once you've got your systems in place, you're looking at review and control measures. Now, if you can't do that, then you need to get someone to help you with it. Ideally, most companies will have either a safety person or a safety team. If they don't, then they should be looking to hire someone who's going to set these systems in place. Now, primary responsibilities of a PCBU, that's right, that's you running the business. If you're the boss, managing director, CEO, then you need to know this. You must ensure the health and safety and welfare of any workers throughout the following places. You've got to provide a safe and healthy workplace. You've got to maintain safe plant and equipment. Provide safe systems of work to your staff. Maintain any safe handling and storage of any equipment or substances, and have adequate facilities for your workers. The law says you must provide information, instruction, training, and supervision to your teams. Monitor the health and conditions of your workers. Prevent any illness or injury to your workers, and then consult with your workers on safety-related issues. And if you're not doing any of that, then you're already in trouble. And I can tell you, the next slide is going to show you some penalties relating to your fines if you are caught out by government. So New South Wales Safe Work, or Work Cover as they're known, have penalties for this. And if you happen to have an accident on site, it doesn't look good for you. Now, a Category 1 offence where someone gets killed, it's a death or serious injury or illness, the corporation could be up for $3 million. An individual, the managing director, the PCBU, and anybody in the line of supervision could be looking at $600,000, 5 years in jail, or both. Now, the worker or any other worker working on site who didn't follow the processes and there was, without reasonable excuse, caused this death, $300,000, 5 years in jail, or both. Category 2 offence, risk of death or serious injury, I would put this down to a life-changing event. 1.5 million to the corporation. The individual gets 300,000, and then you're looking at the workers up to 150,000. And this one's my favourite, Category 3 offence, a duty holder that fails to comply with health and safety duties. So if you don't have systems in place, this is what it could look like if Work Cover comes knocking. $500,000 to your corporation, $100,000 to the managing director, officer, or anybody in the line of command. And then from there on, we're looking at every worker in the business up to $50,000. So if these penalties haven't scared the life out of you or made you think twice, then let's think again. Maybe we should chat. Your due diligence and questions you should be considering in a business. Are you aware of the duties that you have under the laws? How do you obtain your information about safety matters? And if you do get information, then what do you do with it? Can you name the top 5 risks in your business? And a question I often ask people is, do you even have safety management systems in place? How would you stack up in court should you have an accident? And what will you do if Work Cover comes knocking on your front doorstep? Now, these are some pretty serious questions that people don't often think about, but if you look at it and you don't have systems in place, how would you be answering this? Or what would you do if Work Cover was knocking? So in saying that, I'll give my details there in case anybody wants to contact. Happy to have a chat. Can be found on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, and definitely on our website as well as mobile phone. Thanks,
Fantastic. Thank you, Ange.
My
Short
pleasure.
and sharp and to the point. I've shared the details for people to connect with you into the chat while the feed's been happening for your website and obviously LinkedIn and also Facebook. So yeah, please do reach out to Ange. Can I just ask you a question? You know, for anybody that's feeling a little bit overwhelmed about, you know, perhaps they feel like they don't have the systems in place and the policies in place, where's a good place to start?
Well, Safe Work website has a little toolkit, or if they I'm happy to email it out to them if they don't want to go looking for it. It just says this what you should have in place. It's a tick sheet, and basically it's 5 pages long, and it just says what you got to do. and how to go about it. Once they get that, they can have a look at it and take it from there. If they need any further assistance, I'm happy to go through with it.
Yeah,
But
and does that have templates as well for policies and that type of thing?
no, it won't. It would just, well, you can get most templates. For policies, you probably won't have templates on Safe Work website, but you do have documents for forms to fill out, registrations, and other templates that you might need accessible to you on Safe Work's website. But like I said, if they don't want to go there because it's, sometimes it's too hard, or some people are not techy. I'm not tech savvy, so if I had to go to the computer, I'd rather call somebody to fix it for me. So happy to share that so they can tick through their business and see if they've got that in place or systems in place or what they require. It's like a gap analysis to just check what's happening.
Absolutely, and I think at the moment where potentially people probably aren't as busy as what they, what they could have been in the past, this is a good opportunity to get all that stuff up to speed and make sure that you've got everything.
Things have changed with COVID-19 though. Things have changed, so there are a lot of more changes and improvements that need to be put into your systems.
Yes.
So this is probably a very good time to be reassessing and reevaluating if you haven't got anything or if you do have current systems in place. Yeah,
for sure. And can I just also ask as well, so for people that have consultants that come on site that aren't, employees as such, but are, that maybe they have a regular gig with that company. So, there's that grey line between employee and consultant. How does that sit?
It sits with the same duty of care. However, the consultant's got their own insurances. So if they have an accident on site, they'll be claiming through their own insurance for their medical expenses. But the duty of care is that you've got to make sure that the environment is safe and administer first aid or get them help if required as needed. And then their claim, of course, goes through their insurance policy. But they're classified as a worker, whether they're a subcontractor, you still got to give them a duty of care. You've got to make sure that they're safe whilst they're working in your premises. Yeah.
And they have that responsibility too for anyone that they're whose site they're working on too.
Pretty much.
So, yeah. And what's the biggest question people have been asking you, lately about safety, like in your space? Is there something that's a common query at the moment?
I commonly get, I don't need anything because I'm working from home.
Mm-hmm.
Or I get questions I get is where do I start or where do I begin, because I'm just the one-man band.
Mm-hmm.
And my answer is you get the basics in place, like the testing and tagging, and give them some tips as to what they do need to have, even if they're one person. Like I'm a one-man band at home. However, I work with teams outside of there, so I know that I need to have the same stuff that they've got. Maybe not at the grander scale as a company. However, we certainly have to have certain systems in place.
Yeah, that you can build on as you grow.
Definitely.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Ange, for sharing your wisdom today. My pleasure. And like I said, if you have any questions around this, questions in the safety space, reach out to Ange. She's she's always prepared to have a chat and talk to you. She's really passionate about what she does, and just really grateful that you came on today and gave us that insight.
Thank you. Have a great day. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Thank you.